But if you remember nothing else about Jiang Zemin, know that he was the one that was personally responsible for one of the worst crimes in history that continues to this day. The Chinese Communist Party's state-sponsored forced organ harvesting of live Falun Gong practitioners so that their organs could be sold for profit through the CCP-controlled network of organ transplant networks. Forced organ harvesting has been proven through first-hand testimony of surgeons that have come out of China, from testimony from people like Hong Yu, who you heard from earlier, prisoners whose blood was tested 11 times in a month while they were simultaneously being tortured. We have recorded phone calls from doctors admitting to having Falun Gong organs to order. Public websites and advertisements of CCP hospitals advertising very short wait times, almost instant match rates. And for comparison, in developed countries like the US, with very sophisticated donation systems, which China doesn't have, wait times for vital organs are 2 to 3 years. However, the CCP is able to match them in almost real time, meaning that they have a large pool of healthy organs to pull from. And all of this started in 1999, when massive amounts of Falun Gong practitioners in the millions were starting to be detained. And I say all this to establish that talking about whether forced organ harvesting has happened or is happening is not actually credible at this point in time, because no serious or credible person or outlet who can look into the evidence would disagree. And research by David Mattis, Kilgore, and Ethan Gutman, the China Tribunal, independent organizations, as well as most governments around the world, most recently the UK, shows that this atrocity is happening. And so given the nature of this widely accepted heinous crime, how do we know that Jiang orchestrated it? The primary evidence is 3 factors. From 1999 to 2000, organ transplants 10x'd, according to He Xiaoxun, a CCP doctor who bragged about it. And this was exactly at the time when Falun Gong practitioners were being detained in the millions. And no excuse and no explanation can account for those organs. The second factor is that nothing happened under Jiang's iron fist rule, especially with Falun Gong, without his knowledge. And if you look at the way he ruled, he was personally responsible for everything related to Falun Gong. And asking the 610 office to eradicate Falun Gong by any means necessary, of course forced organ harvesting is by no means far-fetched, given the torture and deaths that are already being caused. But the strongest evidence comes from former PLA Minister for Health, Bai Shuzhong, who in a forensically examined phone call by undercover investigators, stated that Jiang directly ordered the killing of Falun Gong practitioners for their organs. When we try to understand Jiang's motives for these things, which I've thought about a lot over the past 15 years of doing this work, there's a lot of reasons you can point to. Jiang wanted power, he was jealous, there was more people practicing Falun Gong than in the CCP. But those explanations compare in comparison to the fact that Jiang Zemin is just that evil.